Most people are addicted to motivation. They treat it like caffeine, a quick shot of inspiration just to survive the day. They wake up empty, scroll for quotes, listen to speeches, chase fire in other people's words. Because deep down, they haven't found their own. They don't have a mission, they have a schedule. They don't live with clarity, they live on autopilot. But understand this truth. Motivation is weak. Mission is immortal. Motivation fades. Mission drives through fire. Motivation whispers when it's easy. Mission screams when it's hard. Motivation needs perfect conditions. Mission builds power in the storm. If you only move when you feel like it, you will lose to the man who moves because he's called. And make no mistake, he's out there. He's not scrolling, he's not waiting, he's building, because he's been touched by something deeper than excitement. He's seen the truth about this life. You're either a servant to comfort or a weapon for purpose. You weren't put here to blend in. You weren't made for safety. You were born to become. But nothing becomes until you decide what you're becoming for. What's your cause? What's your hill to die on? What is so important that quitting is not an option? That's where the 1% live, in mission mode. They don't ask, how do I stay motivated? They ask, how do I finish what I started? Look at Edison. 10,000 failed attempts at the light bulb. You think motivation got him there? No, it was mission. It was purpose set on fire. It was the belief that the world needed what he saw in his mind, even if no one else did. You think Lincoln was motivated? When they mocked him? When he lost 8 elections? When he buried the love of his life and saw his country tear itself in half? No. He was on a mission to preserve something bigger than himself. An idea, a vision, a nation worth dying for. Motivation is for the moment. Mission is for eternity. And until you build your life around something larger than comfort, larger than money, larger than applause, you will always feel like something's missing, because something is. You weren't built to wake up just to exist. You were built to wake up with intent, to know before your feet hit the floor why the hell you're still breathing. But here's the brutal truth. Most people never ask themselves that question. They live as passengers. They confuse activity with meaning. They call survival life. They work 40 years for someone else's vision and wonder why they feel dead inside. Because they're not living, they're avoiding. Avoiding the risk of chasing something real. Avoiding the pain of choosing. Avoiding the burden of greatness. But mission doesn't come to those who avoid. It comes to those who bleed for clarity, those who go to war with their own comfort, those who sit in silence, listen to the ache inside, and ask, what am I here to build that didn't exist before I arrived? That's your purpose, not some hashtag, not a lifestyle brand, not a fake smile for social media. It's your reason for war.
Your mission is not a hobby. It's not a side hustle. It's not a post you make when you feel inspired. It's your oath. A line drawn in blood that says, I will not leave this earth as a shadow. I will leave it marked. Because once you have a mission, you don't need alarms to wake you up. Purpose does that. You don't need hype music to get moving. Conviction does that. You don't need the world to understand you. You just need to understand yourself. The man with a mission doesn't need motivation. He doesn't need comfort. He doesn't even need applause. He needs only one thing, the next step. And every day, he takes it. Bleeding, sweating, crying, he takes it. Because the fire inside him burns louder than the fear outside him. This is the truth the world won't tell you. You were born with the blueprint. You just buried it under noise, under fear, under people who never had the courage to chase theirs. So they convinced you to forget yours. But if you listen closely, if you kill the noise, you will hear it. That silent whisper in your soul saying, you were made for more. You know it. Now act like it. Stop chasing dopamine. Start chasing domination over your mind. Stop being impressed by those who look successful. Start becoming someone who can't be ignored. Because the world does not respond to wishers. It doesn't move for the motivated. It moves for the mission-driven. The people who don't flinch in adversity, who don't bend under pressure, who don't pause when it gets hard. They press harder. The builders, the warriors, the leaders, the ones who made a decision so sacred, so absolute, that quitting became impossible. They don't wonder if they'll make it. They've already decided they will, because they know the world bends to the one who never stops walking. You say you want more? Good. But what price are you willing to pay? Because purpose will cost you your comfort. It will cost you your excuses. It will cost you your old life. But in return, it will give you a new name.
No longer ordinary, no longer average, no longer another echo in the crowd, but a voice that cannot be silenced, a force that cannot be ignored, a legacy that cannot be erased. So now, you have a choice, the same choice every great man once faced: fade or forge, survive or rise, exist or ignite. Because no one's coming to save you, no one's handing you a dream, and no one will ever believe in your vision until you do. This world does not reward the most talented. It rewards the most committed, the most relentless, the most obsessed with their reason for being alive. And that kind of obsession, it doesn't come from motivation. It comes from mission, a decision, a vow, a fire lit deep inside your chest that says, no matter how long it takes, I'm building this. No matter who doubts me, I'm becoming this. No matter how many times I fall, I finish. Because when you walk through life with that kind of intention, obstacles don't stop you, they shape you. They polish your character. They deepen your conviction. They forge a spirit that no storm can shatter. That's how empires are built, not in days of comfort, but in nights of fire. Look at the ones who came before you: Napoleon Hill, Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Oprah Winfrey, Kobe Bryant, Elon Musk. These people didn't rise because they were lucky. They rose because they refused to settle for less than their mission required. And now it's your turn. No more half in, no more dabbling, no more chasing sparks and calling it fire. Burn the excuses, light the vision, marry the mission. Because when you have that kind of purpose, a reason bigger than pain, bigger than doubt, bigger than fear, you become unstoppable. You don't need motivation anymore. You are the motivation. For your family, for your future, for the generation watching you become what they never thought possible. So get up, write the vision, feel the fire, cut the noise, kill the doubt, and start walking like a man possessed. Because this is it. This is the line. This is the moment you stop waiting and start building. And when the world asks you years from now, how did you do it? You'll look them dead in the eye and say, I stopped chasing motivation and I found my mission. Now go, build, lead, become. The world is waiting for the version of you that never quits. And that starts now.